As the title says, I kicked my 24-year-old girlfriend out of my apartment. Yesterday was my older sister's birthday, and I am very close to her. She is like my best buddy, and fortunately, we live in the same city. So for her birthday, I bought some very expensive pastries, 5 pieces, from her favorite bakery. The same day, my girlfriend was also spending the night at my apartment. Around 7:30 p.m., I told my girlfriend that I am going to the gym and I'll be back in 1 or 1.5 hours. When I was leaving, I told her not to eat those pastries. After coming back from the gym and showering, we went to the kitchen to make something to eat, and I saw a plate in the sink. I checked the pastry box and 2 pieces were gone. Naturally, I got angry and asked my girlfriend why did she eat those when I told her not to. Instead of getting an apology, she said she was hungry and there were still 3 left for my sister. After arguing back and forth, I just asked her to get out of the apartment for not respecting my one simple request. After that, I drove back to the bakery, bought some more pastries, and celebrated my sister's birthday nicely around midnight. Fast forward to the morning, I got some hateful texts from my girlfriend and her roommate saying how can I ask her to leave so late at night and using profanities. To be honest, I don't feel bad for kicking her out, but I do feel that it was late night, around 10 p.m., so should I apologize for that? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You set a clear boundary and she ran all over it. Not cool of her at all. I don't care what time of night it was. If she didn't want to get in an argument with you about that, then she shouldn't have done it. Girlfriend is the AH though. If she's doing some territorial BS or feeling insecure about whatever, she needs to communicate that with you, not directly defy one simple and logical request. She could have asked, well, why didn't you get me anything? You knew I was coming over and I like that stuff too? To which you could have said any number of things but also offered to get her some while you were out, if it was that big of a deal to her. But that's a total red flag in my opinion. Comment 2. This is not about the Iranian yogurt. This isn't just about pastries. It's about respect for your boundaries and requests. She intentionally ate the pastries to prove her feelings outweigh your sister's happiness. She could have called Uber Eats or made something to eat, but instead, she ate the one thing you told her not to. Also, she kicked herself out. Besides, she has an apartment. You didn't kick her out into the streets. It's not like taxis or Ubers stop running at 10 p.m. I bet she's gone home later than that before, from dinner, a movie, the club, etc. Tell her roommate to lock up her pastries. Not the idiot. Comment 3. Not the idiot. They were a gift for someone else. It was very disrespectful for her to take them. This is a useful piece of information about your girlfriend. It says something important about her character. You shouldn't have left her in danger. So if it's unsafe where you are for women to walk around at 10 p.m., then you should have driven her home. However, I'd think about why you're dating her. Now, for the next story. I, 24, female, have been in a relationship with my boyfriend, 24, male, for 3 years now. We want to move in, but our Orthodox parents refuse to allow us unless we get married. Since we had anyway planned to get married sometime in the future, we decided to indulge them and get married now itself. The wedding was an intimate affair with only close family. The reception was huge, but it was also a disaster. The reason is that I married before my older sister. I have an older sister, Anu, F29. Our family has been seeking alliances for her for almost 3 years now, but none have matched up, and she is fine with this. But a younger sister marrying before an older one is almost unheard of here. The circumstances regarding my marriage were why my family didn't mind it. But at the reception, everyone talked about was how my sister was an old maid and who will marry her now. All because I couldn't wait for her to get married. Now even my closest family is blaming me for being selfish and getting married before my sister. Am I the idiot? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. I'm not sure how reliable answers you will be getting here. Assholery is much of a cultural thing. For Western standards, your behavior is definitely not the idiot. You didn't ruin your sister's life at all. and you had the right to marry whenever you felt ready. You mentioned that your parents were looking for alliances for your sister. Is she restricted to marry someone from an alliance accorded by your parents? If so, were you held to the same standard? This is not on you, but your parents may be the AH if they are allowing you to get your own partner but pretend for your sister to wait for their alliances to work, or for being better matchmakers with you than with her. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your family are the assholes here. You are an adult. Why should your family dictate who you can or can't live with? Who gives a poop what they say? Family seeking alliances to get your older sister married? Man, there is so much to unpack here. Does your sister want to get married? Your family needs to F off and leave you and your sister to your own lives. Comment 3. Not the idiot, but your wedding guests, or even society in general is. Let's hope that your sister can find someone open-minded and intelligent enough who realizes that her character, worth, whatever has nothing to do with whether or not her younger sister got married before her. Now for the next story. I am 27 years old and married to my wife, who is 29 years old. We have been married for almost 2 years. We both work full-time. She works as a lecturer in the education department, and I work in a corporate setting. Recently, I had the opportunity to travel to Singapore for a Corporate Connect program, and spouses were allowed to join. I asked my wife if she wanted to come, and she agreed months ago. However, 3 weeks before the trip, my wife informed me that she had to attend a mandatory university curriculum program because a politician was attending as the chief guest during the same week. I understood the situation and agreed, but then she expressed that she really wanted to go on the trip. She asked if we could reschedule her university program, but I explained that it was not possible given the short notice. If we had informed them a month in advance, HR might have been able to make arrangements. Nonetheless, I went on the trip and had a great time. We had 6 hours a day dedicated to the program, after which we were free to explore and enjoy the city. After I returned from the trip, my in-laws invited us for dinner, and everyone was discussing the trip and asking me about it, wanting to see pictures and videos. During this conversation, my wife was continuously expressing feelings of regret and disappointment. At one point, her brother even asked her to stop, but she continued. I eventually asked her to stop dwelling on it and suggested that we could plan a vacation for next year. Now she is angry with me and her brother for disregarding her feelings. Was I in the wrong here? Comment 1. Not the idiot. Were you a little rude? Yes, but it didn't seem like you said it with malicious intent. It's understandable for your wife to feel upset or disappointed about missing out on a great trip, but continuously bringing it up, especially during dinner with others, can be annoying. I would have reacted in a similar way. However, it would be good to have a private and healthy conversation with your wife to comfort her. Comment 2. Not the idiot. I have been in a similar situation where my mom had a free trip to a Costa Rica resort for work, and I could join for free. I was really excited, but then I started a new job and decided it was best to stay and work. Was I jealous? Yes. Am I still sad I didn't go? Yes. Did I make the right decision? Yes. However, I never tried to make my mom feel bad about it, because it wasn't her fault. Comment 3. Not the idiot. She chose not to go, even if it felt like she didn't have much of a choice. And you even suggested planning a vacation for next year, which could be better because you won't be tied down with work obligations and can do whatever you want. Now, for the next story. I recently got into a massive argument with my sister and her husband, who currently live in my apartment after they lost their home due to my brother-in-law's stupid schemes. Michael lost all his money and all my sister's money on Forex and cryptocurrency and working, the stock market. To be fair, at first the money was rolling in. He was often doubling, tripling, and even quadrupling the money he invested. But as we all know now, it was all an elaborate Ponzi pyramid scheme, and like all get-rich schemes, it all crumbles down at the end. But Michael continued to pretend things were going well, and then my sister was pregnant with baby number 3 and was made redundant as COVID lockdown started, which meant he could no longer pocket my sister's wages to keep trying to recoup the money lost on his investments. He then stopped paying the mortgage and used his wages and credit cards to desperately try to get back the money he wasted on being a genius, business-savvy alpha. And as luck would have it, in this time period, laws were put into effect to prevent evicting people. Then it was lifted, and the banks came to collect. They moved in with me in my small 2-bedroom apartment, and it was hectic with 3 adults, 2 toddlers, and a baby. They stayed with me for 3 months. I had to give decent time to my tenants to move out before I could move them in. We agreed they'd pay reduced rent for the apartment, and I had my lawyer draw up the paperwork. He paid his rent, and all was well for a few months. Then he suddenly stopped working, saying he was depressed. My sister continued working and paying the bills. He then got another job and quit after a few months, again stating depression and anxiety. Just to be crystal clear, I seriously doubt he's depressed, and if he really is, he refuses to do anything about it, as I have given him many opportunities to see mental health professionals, as I'd be happy to pay. He just wants to play games, talk poop online, and find ways to make money. I've had it, and I told him he needed to pay rent or move out. He said that my sister was already paying it, but I told him that he needed to be working, as I agreed to reduced rent if both adult parties were working. Since he isn't upholding his end of the bargain, I've started the eviction process. My sister is upset, but she understands my frustrations, and in many ways agrees with me, as she is also fed up with his bullshit. Unfortunately, my sister loves this man deeply. Michael is crying to everyone who would listen to him, including our mother and my bum-ass father, who have both been saying I am destroying a family and should be ashamed of myself. To be honest, I don't really listen to my parents because they're kind of stupid. But having told 2 coworkers of the situation, they're saying I'm being a bit of an idiot and putting a husband and wife against each other, as well as causing my brother-in-law to move in with his parents and be separated from his family, since there is no way for them to find affordable housing at the moment. Have I gone too far? Edit for clarity. My sister and the children will be able to remain at the apartment. The only one being evicted is Michael. Now for the next story. I am 30 years old and have a younger brother named Mark, who is 27 years old. He has been married to his wife Kate for 3 years. Early in their marriage, Mark found out that she had cheated on him, but they decided to make it work. Then last year, I walked in on her in bed with a coworker while my brother was away on a job. Again, he decided to make it work. A few days ago, Kate and Mark invited us over for dinner. During the dinner, they made an announcement that Kate was pregnant. I immediately pulled my brother aside and asked him if he was sure the baby was his. He said yes. The night continued, and he must have told her that I said something because she made a scene saying, "I'd just like to know why you hear good news and have to turn it negative," calling me out in front of everyone. So I simply said, "Because he's my baby brother and you are a known whore." We started arguing, and she kicked me out. Later that night, my brother texted me, begging me to apologize to keep the peace. I feel like I started with respect. I pulled my brother away. I didn't make a scene. She was vindictive. Am I the idiot? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Everyone sucks here. You weren't respectful, and she wasn't vindictive. You picked a bad time to ask him that. I get why you would worry, given her history. Calling her a whore, no matter how much truth there is in that statement, was going too far, especially in front of other people on their special night. I'm not surprised she kicked you out of their home, even if your worries are based on a substantial possibility. You should have waited a few days and met him alone, or said nothing, as he clearly is going to take her back every time she cheats with another man. Comment 2. You didn't make a scene? She was the one who was vindictive? Sure, okay. You seem to be ignoring your part in this, though. Calling someone a whore because they've called you out publicly isn't vindictive or making a scene. You definitely played your part. You're not innocent in this. Everyone sucks here except your brother. Comment 3. Everyone sucks here. You could have called her a cheater in that moment, but you didn't. I get that you don't like her and have suspicions about your brother being the father. But you didn't have to get so nasty. Now, for the next story. My younger brother, who is in his early 20s, and his now ex-girlfriend were on a break from each other for a few months now. The reasoning for this break between them, from what I heard, is because my brother wanted to try the single life for a bit, and they both agreed not to date or talk to anyone during this break. However, my brother took this break and went to see other people. I heard he went on a few dates, but the icing on the cake was that he was planning to move in with a girl that he had never met in person. He even tried to convince us that this girl is amazing and great. I'm certain this would have happened if not for the fact that this mystery girl ended up ghosting him. Now, me and his ex are friends, and hearing all of this left a bad taste in my mouth. She was waiting for him to come back, giving him until December. She stayed faithful to him the whole time. So I told her what he has been up to. She is a good girl and doesn't deserve to be lied to and oblivious to his actions. This ended up with her calling and yelling at him, and essentially caused a bridge to burn between them, and fires going up between him and my family. The ex and our parents are trying to put them out. So, am I the idiot for telling my brother's ex about his lying? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It seems to have become normal for people to cheat, lie, ghost, and engage in other distasteful actions. People seem to defend these people by saying things like, "It's not your business," or "You shouldn't have gotten involved." No, good on you for getting involved. This girl has probably had an idea in her head of the situation based on what they agreed, and he completely walked over her. If your brother had been honest and communicated, there would be no issue. People will always say breakups are normal, everyone goes through it, or everyone gets cheated on or lied to. But that doesn't mean the trauma left behind in people is any less. I've known people to end relationships over messy situations with partners who lied or manipulated. I don't care what anyone says, you're never in the wrong for outing a liar or a cheater. Comment 2. You're not the idiot. You're a good friend. When my son is an adult, I will hold him to a standard to be a good person. He won't be coming in and out of my house with different women. People need to stop sticking up for bad behavior just because it's a family member. You're definitely not the idiot. Comment 3. Oh boy, this is going to get mixed reactions. There will be the YTA for not minding your own business crowd and the NTA for being a good friend. If it were me, I would want to know crowd. Personally, I'm in the not the idiot crowd. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.